Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Report. So, Donald Trump is under some heat, some criticism for saying some, comments that attack the foundation of the Second Amendment and the Fifth Amendment. And many conservative outlets are reticent to even talk about this because they know that they may lose some support from Trump supporters. I confess that I probably will lose some subs from this video, but the one thing I have always promised is that I will always discuss what I believe. I will always go for the truth, no matter where it leads. And I can say that Trump is wrong on this. I will go over why he is wrong, and I will dissect some of the arguments I'm hearing. People that are still supporting Trump, some of the things they are saying here, they don't hold muster, and I will explain why. But the very first thing is that Trump basically made some comments that the Republicans in the Congress are afraid of the NRA. I mean, he said that kind of in a facetious manner, so he kind of made a joke over it, but he made some comments that the NRA needs to basically get out of politics and that we really need to look at the Second Amendment. We really need to stop what is happening in terms of guns. I don't have the video on me, but you can watch the video of it somewhere. And during the video, too, Mike Pence, he made a statement basically that he believes there is a way to go about this that still allows people their right to due process. And then Trump made the comment that I vehemently disagree with, that he is wrong about, and that could really come back to bite him. And that is why he said that take the guns away first, due process second. And that is against everything in the Constitution. For those who don't know, what is due process? Due process can be summed up in one single sentence. Innocent until proven guilty. Without due process, or if due process is superseded from another aspect, it's guilty until proven innocent. The point of due process is innocent until proven guilty, and that is why it is part of the Fifth Amendment, and that is why we need it. It's part of the Bill of Rights, just as important as the Second Amendment. Now, many people argue that, Trump was talking about those who are mentally ill, that those who are mentally ill should get their guns taken away for safety reasons, of course, and then go to the courts and then try to get it back. Well, the response to that is, why is it fair for the mentally ill to not have due process? Why do their Bill of Rights get usurped? Now, one might say for safety, right? But do you not realize that being mentally ill can cover a vast array of conditions? For instance, maybe you just went through a divorce and you went to see a psychiatrist and they gave you antidepressants. Well, right there, you'd be mentally ill. Should your right to due process be completely removed from you? Should you not have the right to go buy a gun anymore? Should you not have the right to be innocent until proven guilty? See, that is a very, very big problem with that, is that even if Trump made these comments directly relating to the mentally ill, it is still wrong because it still violates the Constitution. And not just, the Constitution in general, but the most important parts of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. These amendments are our guaranteed natural rights, constitutional protected rights and liberties. The Second Amendment is just as important as the First Amendment, which is just as important as the Fifth Amendment. You cannot usurp them. If Trump keeps going on this path, he will lose 2020. A lot of people are going to abandon him. Now, here's another argument that Trump doesn't actually believe this, that Trump is just saying this because he knows it's going to get the Democrats' hopes up, and then eventually he's going to tell them no, and it's going to break them down. He's basically doing it to kind of attack them in a roundabout way to kind of make them look like fools. Okay, first off, I don't believe that's true. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that that is true. Either way, if that is true, it's still not going to help Trump because for the most part, there are many people in the country that support Trump that are not super intelligent so they can see the hidden meaning behind his actions. So they're not going to be able to see that he is actually doing this just to basically make fun of the Democrats, just to try to trick them, make them look like fools. to them, they're going to see a president who they trusted, who they voted for, that is all of a sudden abandoning them their Second Amendment rights, and abandoning their right to due process. That is what they're going to see. So maybe Trump may make a mockery out of the Democrats by doing this, but he's still losing support because not everyone is going to be able to understand that. They're going to see it from a superficial standpoint. They're not going to read into it. This comes back to the whole, well, Trump is playing 4D chess, 5D chess. Either way, making these comments and standing by them, and especially saying that taking away someone's rights without due process is necessary, is not going to help Trump at all. This is wrong on so many levels. This is bad. And again, I'm probably going to lose subscribers for saying this, because I know a lot of my subs are hardcore Trump supporters, and I myself actually voted for Trump. However, I cannot stand by when our constitutional protected rights and liberties are trying to be usurped. And I hope, okay, I should back up here. I heard Crowder say this, and I heard Coffee with Comments say this, and I agree with it. That I think basically what Trump says a lot, he basically kind of parrots the views of the last person he talks to. So, for instance, during Rand Paul and him would always golf and talk about healthcare. And it seemed that Donald Trump would adopt a Rand Paul type healthcare scenario where it's completely free market. But then he doesn't. Then he goes towards like the Lindsey Graham models and things of that nature. So it's almost like Donald Trump says the same talking points, or rather the same policies of the last person he talks to. So it is possible now that, he's saying what he did here because blah, blah, blah told him, like, what they believe. And it's possible that in a week or two, he may change what he says here. And that's good. I hope he does. I hope he does backtrack this. I hope he does not go through with this. Because even if this doesn't happen, even if our right to due process is not usurped, and even if our Second Amendment rights are not being impeded at all, him saying it, what he did, and not backtracking is still damaging, especially to the Republican Party, and especially to conservatives in general. There are many people whose comments I read, like on YouTube videos, saying, I'm still going to vote for Trump, But he will lose a lot of votes from this. He has to be careful. And I kind of want to bring this up because this is really important. How would people be reacting right now if this was Obama? If we saw on the news Obama sitting down with a group of senators and from both houses and from both parties sitting down and said, you know what, safety is very important, that we're going to take away guns and then we're going to do due process. Due process will come after the fact. People would be freaking out right now, and they should be freaking out right now. They would have every justification to freak out right now because this is a very serious, radical idea that is fundamentally wrong. If Obama would say that, people would be freaking out right now, and I completely understand why. So, just because your guy is doing it, that doesn't make it right. Just because you hate the left so much and you love Trump because he is doing everything that you want him to do, it doesn't mean you have to support everything he does, everything he says, especially when it violates the Constitution that this country is founded upon. We have to be careful here. We have to be careful here that we do not usurp our constitutional rights and liberties for the sake of security, because we cannot guarantee that security. And as Thomas Jefferson said, those who sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither. Or was that Ben Franklin? There's one of the two. I think it was Thomas Jefferson. I really can't remember, to be honest. But we have to be careful with that. Because, as I mentioned in previous videos, a lot of the gun control actions that the left and others are pushing for, they won't actually really do anything to solve crime. They're not going to do anything to actually mitigate the amount of gun crime. Like banning AR-15s, for instance, that's not going to solve anything because the majority of handguns, the majority of gun crimes are caused by handguns. And then the CDC estimates that 80% of gun homicides are gang-related. And then 60% of gun deaths are from suicide. AR-15s are actually very rare. And there is a recent study, I heard it on the Ron Paul Liberty Report, and I'll put the link to the video in the description because I don't know the study offhand, but a professor did a study that basically the amount of crimes with an AR-15 or an assault style weapon have actually been decreasing over the years. And I know there was recently a bill in Congress to ban semi-automatic weapons. Pretty much every gun is a semi-auto weapon. I mean, almost every gun nowadays is semi-automatic. That is a very slippery slope to get on. So, I vehemently disagree with what Trump said, especially with due process. I mean, I disagree with the guns, definitely, but due process, when you try to turn a country from innocent until proven guilty to guilty until proven innocent, then you know that your country could be changing, and not for the better. It could be changing for the worse, a lot worse. So I hope that, I mean, Trump does have a tendency to a lot of times just kind of, say things and then he'll like kind of change it a week later. So I'm hoping that this happens here. I'm hoping in a week or whatever from now he says, no, we're not gonna remove due process. You're still gonna have due process. I do want to work with Democrats on adopting gun control measures, but due process is still gonna maintain, and we're not gonna ban semi-automatic weapons, and we're not going to do this and do that. And yeah, so I'm hoping that's what will happen. So again, I mean, if you're mad about this video, if you're mad about me attacking Donald Trump, then if you don't want to listen to me anymore, fine, then unsubscribe. It doesn't matter. But I cannot stand by and not comment on this because this is wrong on so many levels. And I'm done.